Hey guys, good morning. Welcome into cancelthisshow.com. I'm Vic Faust, Tabitha Hassel on her way in. Pro Joe here running the boards. Lizzie Sparks running all of our chat today, as always. Eric's sick today, so Eric will not be in. Told him, don't worry about it, Eric. I wonder if he had band practice last night.
When is his band practice? It's normally Thursday, isn't it?
Yeah, they have fun. Anyway, he's sick. You do not want to be sick. We all know that in life. Nobody wants to be sick. That's for sure. It is Thursday. We'll talk about some things that are coming up in just a little bit. We always say welcome into the show. Let everybody know that we're here. This isn't really the show. It's the show before the show. I did see it was funny. The headline on Fox News this morning. Bud Light begs for customers with free beer as woke backlash drains business with no end in sight. Please drink our beer.
That doesn't really make me want to drink it.
I know. That's when it gets desperate.
I know. Pathetic.
Now, if they had a bourbon, they had a Bud Light bourbon,
You'd be all over it.
Maybe we'll do that. We say good morning to you, Heather, Kim, all of you guys. Thank you. Anyway, we're just getting set here to get started with our show. Still writing some our story ideas down today.
It's so hard to narrow it down. There's so much.
Well, I mean, the DeSantis deal was kind of a big deal last night.
I would say.
We're going to promote all of that as we welcome everybody in. Hi, Paul. Kathleen, good morning to you guys.
Kathleen has a great last name, too. That sounds just like she's a movie star. Kathleen Haycraft. And there's Paul. Paul's always says some really great things.
Veritas. Jonathan Heslop's going to be by the studio today, too. I don't know if you saw that or not. Or Charcoal owner. Yeah, talk some issues going on in the world.
Yes. Yes.
Of course, promote his charcoal. He'll drop by. Tomorrow, not only are we going to focus on working on somebody to break it down, the miracle in Missouri, an incorrupted body of an African-American Benedictine sister right on the border of Missouri, Kansas, found. They were digging up her body to put it in a new place and uncorrupted in the ground, uncorrupted in the ground. Looking at the lines. Good morning, Drew. Drew says, yeah, R.I.P. Tina Turner. St. Louis area's own Tina Turner passed away at the age of 83, peacefully, according to her family. Guess where she lived?
Where?
Switzerland.
Oh, I don't know that I knew that.
That's weird. It was just bizarre. I mean, it's a beautiful place. Just funny. We talked a lot about Switzerland last week. But
my mom used to love her. She'd be dancing in the kitchen, playing her music.
Oh, yeah. Queen of rock and roll.
Sure.
Jerry says Titanic twatter, maybe Twitter announcement, just like a bottle not breaking on a ship's hull. It's cursed. Yeah. Anthony said, I ended up leaving DeSantis' announcement on Twitter last night. It kept crashing. Yeah, it was dull and unenergetic. I agree. We'll talk about it. I did see or find and agree. DeSantis was super strong later in the evening with Trey Gowdy. Like very, 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 very good. Very good. Very, very, very good. Unlike what happened with the whole situation with the Twitter debacle. It was a Twitter tank is what it was.
Oh, absolutely.
And then, of course, it opened the gates for Donald Trump to just blast him even more.
His blast was funny.
It just goes to show.
Odd, but funny.
What's that, bud?
It just goes to show that every show has its glitches, okay? It's not always
said.
The producer.
Hey, by the way, we were going to jump in with Greenlight again. They decided they just want to continue on, not to get out of our Weed Wednesday time slot. So we'll jump back in with Greenlight next Wednesday. And we will not be doing gummies tomorrow because we have too much to do.
Way too much going on tomorrow.
Anyway, so we've got that sister story, the nun story, and then also a Missouri, St. Louis area medium. So the uncensored medium, she'll be in studio. So we'll have her in for an interview. We're going to catch up with her, and her name is Brittany, and Brittany is, and this is the crazy thing. Brittany has a reading with a friend of mine that I found out last night. That's how
Are you
small,
serious?
Yes, that's how small the world is.
Yeah, it is. That's fun.
Brittany Buckwalter, the uncensored medium. So I said, okay, fine. Well, our new salesperson, Jill, wanted to get her on, thought it'd be good. I was like, fine, but listen, we'll treat her with respect, but I don't back this. But I know that lots of other people do. More people do than don't. But I will be respectful and just say, I'm not into this. I don't think people should do this if you're a Christian, but she will be respected by me, just like our last medium.
It'll be really interesting, but you're right, Vic. We're about 50-50 on the chat line, who's for it, who's not for it. But most who aren't even for it still would like to hear this, I'm sure, what's coming up, because it'll be a hoot one way or the other.
Yeah, I'm not judging people for it. That's why we put it on the show.
Absolutely.
I didn't have to let it in the show. We bring it out there, let people talk. You guys do what you want to do from that standpoint. Hi, Nicole. Nicole says Joe belongs in a senior citizen facility. That's true. We'll be in touch. Can't wait to get Nicole on here.
I love her. She's on almost every day.
Trump will become our president again, no matter who dislikes him. Trisha says, I listen, but no way. Kathy says, I agree, Vic. No thanks. Robert's against mediums. They talk to demons from the dead. And then let's see. Yeah, no, Jerry, if you're just joining us, Eric's actually sick today. I said, he said he was trying to rally this morning. I said, don't try to rally, Eric. Relax, get yourself better. Besides, we don't need to get people sick.
No, last time somebody came in here sick, it was Tabitha or myself. Both of us, I think, were sick. And then we made the entire studio
It was
sick.
Poor Scotty. Scotty was sick.
Yeah.
For 4 or 5 months in a row.
Yeah, he sure was.
So we hope all that stuff is going well. Well, that sucks, Eric. I hope you're feeling better. Yeah, just looking at all the messages that we're getting in today. So we appreciate everybody jumping in with us. By the way, canceltheshow.com. We say good morning to everybody. John, Jerry, who said Kathy, Trisha, Michelle, Mary, Anthony, Nicole, Eric, Kimberly. So anyway, I just go back looking at comments. Jerry, when I brought up Trey Gowdy, Jerry goes, he's another sellout. Yeah. So anyway, let's see here. Okay, Paul, we said good morning to you and Anthony. So, okay, we'll go ahead. We'll start the show if all is good.
Happy birthday to John Gowan, if he's out there listening.
He is. He's on there this morning.
Yeah, it was his birthday yesterday.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, let's go ahead. We'll start the show. Hey guys, welcome into canceltheshow.com. I'm Vic Faust, Tabitha Hassel's here. Lizzie Sparks in studio as well, taking care of the platforms and all of your live chat. We encourage it. We love it. We appreciate it when you guys add to the show. And as Democrat Drew knows, yeah, we accept all opinions. Pro Joe's here.
Unfortunately so.
On the boards. Eric Johnson's sick today. He will not be in. And we're at canceltheshow.com. Check out all of our original content Monday through Friday, 8 to 10 a.m. We are grateful that you're joining with us. Please like, subscribe, share the show, send stars, let people know what we're doing. We still have the billboard Where in the Lou contest going on. Please, if you see one, let us know. We've yet to see one. Let us know. Find a Cancel This billboard and win. We'll have a Winty's gift certificate there for you. We've got a summer sizzler package for you. We've got a complete auto body repair gift certificate of $25. We've got some Rockwood Charcoal, as Jonathan Heslop will be in studio to talk things over with us today for a little bit. He'll join in the conversation. He used to join a lot of Republican conservative area radio. He'll jump in with us for that. So if Eric was going to be gone, that made sense. Also, our pixie seasoning, our pixie dust. We've got that we included in the world. Just let us know. Go to our socials. Let us know where you see the billboards. Be the first to let us know, and you could win. With that being said, coming up today on the show, we'll get into the whole DeSantis situation. I'm sorry, it was the DeSantis disaster. It was this. I mean, it's not just some.
Why did he do this?
Little local podcast deal. I told you yesterday. It was.
Why did he do this?
It was doomed.
Why did he do it this way?
It was bad. Well, he wanted to. I don't think he wants to run for president. It was on purpose.
Do you think so?
No, I'm kidding.
No.
Anyway,
I don't understand his choices.
Yeah, we're going to get into that. Yeah, and it shines a light on some bigger issues. Donald Trump just sitting back like the cat that got the canary with a big old smile on his face. Told you so. Kevin McCarthy all over the president. You'll hear a very true comment, soundbite that he gave yesterday. A new radio station, new radio show from the CBC in Canada is now promoting the Great Reset. They're promoting the Canadians 2 years after they said the Great Reset was all a conspiracy theory. It's here, folks.
Of
it's
course
here.
it is. Of course it is.
A scary, sick situation that people need to know about. Project Veritas going above and beyond to show child pedophilia that's going on through the dark web. I encourage everybody to watch it. It's a 12-minute video. We'll show you about 3 minutes of it just to give you a taste. And then on your own time, go ahead and check it out. Tabitha also diving into her Tab's Take today with the AI affecting the Russia-Ukraine war. No doubt it's going to affect everything.
It's causing doubt in everyone's mind. I can't wait till we talk about it.
So those are some of the subjects we'll get into. If anything else is going on, let us know. We love your participation from a live standpoint. If you're listening in our taped version on the audio or on the video, we appreciate you jumping into the show as well. And if you're not live, you can always feel free to message us with some story ideas as well. We're easy to find at canceltheshow.com. All right, we'll give you a look at our sponsors, our partners right now, and we'll be back in just about 2 minutes to get this thing rocking.
And now it's here, the unveiling of the latest Carroll House lifestyle collections. I'm Brooke with my sister Amy, inviting you to see 3 football fields of the latest styles.
Our new lifestyle collections are premium quality furniture made exclusively for us and available only at Carroll House.
The attention to detail is unmatched, and so is the value, nearly half the price of a typical gallery store.
Plus, get free financing, delivery, and in-home design. Carroll House, because you like nice things.
Marco, wait. What? No response? Hi, I'm Curtis Sparks with Complete Auto Body and Repair, offering full service and auto repair to St. Louis and St. Charles. We are looking for someone to say polo. That's right, we are hiring. We want you now. If you would like to work in a well-paying environment, then you owe it to yourself to stop by one of our 6 Complete Auto Body and Repair locations. Will you help me find that missing person? Please call me directly at 636-488-HIRE. That's right, 636-488-4473.
Dad, and service.
Oh yeah, and service.
He fixes cars.
Kathy O. Big Strick, owner of Experience Real Estate Partners with eXp, has been one of St. Louis, Missouri's highest selling groups for 26 years running. In that time, Kathy and her team have successfully assisted an incredible 4,000 families. So if you're thinking about buying, building, or selling, be sure to put Kathy's group and their experience to work for you, and you can expect to be moved. Just give her a call at 314-276-SOLD. That's 314-276-7653, or find her online at experience-re.com.
As all of you may know, the home of the Cancel This studio is located at the all-inclusive private jet hangar, Strategic Air Services. Founded in Chesterfield, Missouri, they take pride in offering a meticulous approach to private aviation through services that fully manage your trip from takeoff to landing. Strategic Air Services is more than just storage for your aircraft. They offer state-of-the-art amenities to its members and guests. When you are not traveling, you have the luxury of enjoying their world-class gym, conference rooms, lounges, and so much more. Strategic Air Services offers an unparalleled luxury experience for all things private aviation. If you're looking for a new place to call home for your aircraft, give them a call today at 636-400-7601. Again, that's 636-400-7601, or visit their website at strategicairservices.net.
Winty's in the Chesterfield Valley, if you don't know, is a family-owned business that has been around since 1994, serving some of the best chicken wings in town, no joke. Also known for their fresh burgers, pizza, and incredible smoked meat. Top-notch happy hour specials are included, plus live music every Friday and Saturday. Oh yeah, you can also enjoy their spacious heated covered patio. It's Winty's in the Chesterfield Valley, 18,000 Chesterfield Airport Road. Hey guys, welcome back into the show. It's cancelthisshow.com. Canceltheshow.com. I'm Vic Faust, Tab of the Hassle here. Lizzie Sparks taking care of all of your live chats today on several platforms. Trojo running the boards. He jumps in with his words of wisdom every now and then. Eric Johnson, sick today. Hope Eric gets better. He'll be back tomorrow. Okay, coming up at 9 o'clock, Jonathan Heslop from Rockwood Charcoal will join us, talk some politics with us, talk some charcoal as well, the best charcoal you're going to find.
I'm going to use some this weekend.
Rockwood. Hey, Joe, did you use the Rockwood Charcoal yet?
I did, actually. I'm excited to talk about it when it gets here.
All right.
It's some good stuff, isn't it?
Yeah, fantastic.
Oh, yeah.
And remember, charcoal, as he taught us, should break apart in your hands.
And it does.
Like a nice fresh cookie.
I have been using it, and I absolutely
just don't
love
eat it. All right,
I'm not
it
gonna
is
eat it.
cancelthisshow.com. All right, let's jump into the debacle that was DeSantis last night on Twitter. I'm sorry if you like DeSantis, if you respect him, if you plan on voting for him. I'm sure last night didn't mean anything in regards to changing your vote one way or the other. I don't know, maybe it did, but it was a disaster. He tried to do this on Twitter. He and his camp said they had so many people on that they broke the Twitter spaces. Bottom line is, people were tuning out. It wasn't professional. It certainly wasn't presidential. It was technically challenged. They should have called Projo to take care of things. They didn't. They eventually got on. Then you couldn't see them. Then it was audio. It didn't have energy. It lacked excitement. And maybe it's because we just thought that it would be something better. At least I did. Maybe I'm speaking for myself.
No, you're
the problem
you're
is,
right.
It's like, so DeSantis does it. It was the Twitter tank. Elon is responsible as well. But if you trust certain people to do things, I mean, it's on you too. It's a problem. Trust me. I know this personally. You are responsible. So DeSantis makes his announcement, and it was really bad. It did not come off the way it should have. And of course, Donald Trump jumped in and just said he was putting his Truth Social comments out there saying this is an example of what a presidential campaign would look like. This is exactly what this man would look like in office. He's just not ready. And you can't argue. It's like, damn. His message is about restoring normalcy to the White House, having sane conversations, very even keeled, which is fine.
Establishment to me.
But it's not going to work when you're competing against somebody like Donald Trump.
Donald Trump yesterday, I read another poll that was on Newsmax, who said Donald Trump still maintains the lead at 54%.
What polling?
I saw
the only polling
wasn't it?
Well, the only polling that I saw yesterday, Fox News did, and it was 53%.
It was probably the same one.
Where
same
he was
poll.
At.
Yeah, and that was, of course, against.
He had lost 1% in the last three months, is where they had it. Usually, and I heard Karl Rove say this, political strategist. People know Karl Rove. He said, "Well, when people start to find out about the new candidates, we've seen front runners fade away in the past." And I'm like, Donald Trump isn't a quote front runner.
No.
The guy is the mainstay with the most incredible percentage point lead I think we've ever seen in the Republican primary at this point in time. It's not going anywhere. Not going anywhere. And I hate to say this as much as I love Ron DeSantis. And I do. I love him. I love what he's done in Florida. It just comes off as kind of a dud.
It's worse to me. Being a dud is It's not good. It's not a good look. But what comes off to me worse is that he is competing against Donald Trump, who is the Republican favorite.
It's such a difficult.
And for him to jump in now, I think it's going to backfire against him, because so many people feel, so many Trump supporters feel, and we are the majority in the Republican Party these days, whether people want to agree or not. Trump supporters are the majority in the Republican Party. And most of us feel that Trump got cheated out of a term. He was cheated. He should have his term. He should have his rightful second term. And DeSantis is young. Why didn't he wait till 2028? Why does he have to run now?
I don't know.
Totally agree.
I don't know. Money, interest groups pushing him. Maybe that was a side. I have no idea.
He'll never win, in my
But
opinion.
the problem he has now is that was really, really, really bad. There's only one guy I could even find on Twitter that was promoting him as being incredibly good, incredibly great for this country. And that guy is so anti-Donald Trump, even though he's a Republican. This guy, that one guy, everybody else was like, oh, this was not good.
Vic, does it matter? Because
I've been there, done that.
does any of it matter? Does it matter that we as conservatives, as Republicans, want Trump to be the president? Because we all know that when it comes to the primary election, our votes literally do not count. They literally do not count. The RNC will choose the candidate to be their nominee. You know, they chose Trump long before the election.
It's going to be Donald Trump. Are you saying it's not going to be?
It is going to be Donald Trump. And I think it feels really disingenuous that Rob Sanctimonious, as President Trump called him, is doing this. He needs to wait his turn.
He does need to wait his turn. Trump was cheated out of his second term.
You know what though? I kind of disagree with you guys. I don't have any problem with Ron DeSantis running.
I don't have a problem with him running. It's just that they are supposed to be on the same team. He should have been helping Trump to win instead of competing against him. But here's my point, Vic, is that we all know how the primary works, because we heard it in a court of law when everything unfolded with Bernie Sanders and Hillary, is that the DNC or the RNC, they don't actually look at your votes. They choose the person they want to choose. And what if Ronna McDaniel, who is definitely not a Trump supporter, who is also the chair of the RNC, what if she wants DeSantis to win?
Of course she does.
Maybe she wants to change.
It doesn't matter though. It would destroy the party. Everything would be gone.
I hope you are right.
Yeah, Trump's going to be the nominee if he's healthy. The interesting thing now is the fact that, okay, the DeSantis, Twitter, Elon Musk deal, it was bad. Technical problems happen, but you don't use that platform if there's a possibility for it to go wrong. And he did not have the energy. It was over. Bad. Now, I did see DeSantis on Fox News later in the night with Trey Gowdy, and he was amazing. Like, he gets an 11 on a scale of 1 to 10. The problem is it was after the fact, and everything else was built up for his announcement initially, and it was bad. But what I did see from Ron DeSantis is if he were to get on a stage with Donald Trump, if they ever had an opportunity to debate, I thought Trump would blow him out of the water, and he would still maybe win. But what I saw from DeSantis last night with Trey Gowdy, it was nothing short of miraculous. It was a miracle how good he was.
Oh, there's no question.
And his messaging, his tone, his personality, how he looked with it, his inflection, every principle. And I'm like, oh, that would be great TV to watch them go at it, because I feel as if he could maybe try to lure Donald into looking,
and he could
maybe a little crazy.
But what's that going to do for his support?
But Donald Trump fans are not going to change. They're just not. So anyway, I do think that it would be a great debate. And I do not think that Donald Trump would wipe him off the stage if they ever were on the same platform.
It would be. It would definitely be a great debate. And I would love to watch it. But here's the problem, Vic, is that a lot of people do. I love DeSantis. I wish he would have waited to 28 to run.
Me too.
And of course I love Trump and I want Trump to win. But if those two go at it during a debate and things are ugly, and they probably would be, how are we going to feel coming out of this? Because we don't want to see Trump attack DeSantis, and we don't want to see DeSantis attack Trump. You know, they should be fighting for the same team on the same party. You know, I hate to see this.
I know, but I'm telling you right now, DeSantis has done well.
He will hold his own, no question.
But he has taken the high road. He has taken, in this whole deal.
He has to.
And Trump, it doesn't matter if he has to or not. The bottom line is he's taking the high road. Trump is not. Trump, and it's working for Donald right now.
It is.
Destroying, because he's staying where he needs to stay, no matter what, I won't call them bombs, but whatever shots from across the bow that DeSantis is taking. It's like, okay, it's falling on deaf ears.
And
that's
to Aaron,
where they are.
And Aaron is saying, so Trump's fans are a cult. No, I don't know. I've always said from day one, even back when we were on the
You are a cult. You know that, right?
No, it's not a cult. It's not about Trump the man. It has absolutely nothing to do with Trump the man. Trump is definitely not. He is so far from a perfect person. It's not even funny. But what he is he is perfect for this country, and his policies worked for us. So it's not about Trump the man. It's about his policies. It's about the devil we know. Like Trump or not, we know what he's going to do for this country. DeSantis is up in the air. We think he'll do good, but do we know? We don't know.
Jerry Singleton says DeSantis just sealed Rand Paul for 2028 if he decides to run. And then you just hope that nothing goes wrong with Florida, because Florida is the Republicans' award. That's our bastion of hope. It's Florida. This is what our country should look like. And you know, if you're conservative, oh, look at Florida. Look how great Florida is. Florida, 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 Florida. But yet the people don't want the man who put Florida in its position to run for president.
People want him to stay in Florida for now. Just stay there and do your job in Florida. Wait your turn. And like you said, they're dividing. I almost feel like there's some establishment people we don't see, or the Republican Party purposely dividing.
Of course they are.
Paying DeSantis to do this debacle mess.
It wouldn't surprise me, because I'm not going to go back and talk about specific races, but we've seen it happen so many times.
Yes.
Where we have two really good people for the Republican Party. And then Mitch McConnell or somebody else steps in and they donate all of this money.
Who was the last time we had two really good conservatives? I want to get this on record. When is the last time we had two really good?
It happened right here in Missouri when we had Eric Schmidt go up against Eric Greitens.
Oh, no, I thought you meant for president.
No. I just meant in general, just any election period. We have sometimes 2 or 3 really good people who we know are all going to be great for us. But then the money comes in, the games start getting played.
Money.
And then, exactly. And then, of course, one towers over the other.
It's part of politics. It's going on
and
everywhere.
It's ugly. It's ugly.
It's been there since the beginning of time. It's never going to change. It is what it is. So that was the DeSantis deal. We thought we would get some really good stuff. We didn't. DeSantis then went on. Trey Gowdy on Fox News. I thought he was absolutely incredible after. It was the best comeback he could have had. However, it was bad. Then, where's he going? His first state, he's going to Iowa. And we know you go to Iowa, and it's a very good measuring stick, so to speak.
Yes, it is.
And he's going to have 12 events in 4 days. Will it matter? Will it help? I don't know. We'll be seeing. He's going to start it was May 30th. He's going to start on May 30th. Be there for 4 days, have 12 stops, and then see what kind of traction he can get. And just because he announced doesn't mean he has to continue through. I mean, I'm sure he will with the money. So. Or anybody else for that matter.
I worry so much that he's been influenced by the establishment. I worry so much. It's not that I don't want him to win, Vic. It's that I just really worry that he's been infiltrated.
I know. And you and I disagree on this.
I know.
I don't see it.
And I hope you're right.
Because outside of Donald Trump, there is no other conservative Republican man in this country who has faced more backlash from national media, worldwide media, local media, than Ron DeSantis. So I don't feel like he's, quote, the corrupted behind it. And I know if you get burned a bunch of times, Tabitha, it's hard to not think that you're going to get burned again.
I think a lot of people are afraid of exactly what you said. We haven't burned over and over.
But
we have been.
We haven't seen a guy like DeSantis do what he has done.
I love DeSantis. And if he is everything he claims to be, then I more power to him. But I worry that they've gotten to him. I really do. Because why wouldn't he and Trump join forces instead of fighting against each other? Why don't they fight for the better good of the country together?
Some people just say it's these two guys with these massive egos, and that's simply why they can't work together. I don't know if that's true, Tab. I'm sure you're right that there's money been given to him that he didn't wait his turn.
No, they wouldn't. No, they're not. They're not. Neither one of those guys. This is the issue. If you're an alpha, if you're a type A, you don't work with other people. It just doesn't work.
True.
It doesn't. Neither person is going to be happy. There's only going to be issues. And anybody that has worked in environments, you're not going to be able to have two massive type A personalities working together for a very long time. It just won't work. It does not work. Not just for politics, but in business as well. Robert, great point. He says, I was not a good measuring stick. It's a caucus. I agree with you. You're right. I probably shouldn't have said that was a good measuring stick. I just felt like it would be interesting to see people in Iowa if they were responsive to Ron DeSantis and in a very big way. Jerry Singleton says Don Jr. put out disastrous DeSantis hashtag disastrous. Yeah, it was not good. We know that.
Yeah, not good.
But bring it on, game on. Here they go. Joe Biden, even his campaign took a shot. He shouldn't have taken a shot, but he did. I mean, we know that this is the worst president, the worst administration in the history of the United States of America. Bad. So they can't talk about anything. But they put out a campaign picture, about donating to him and Kamala, as if, trust us, this works.
Like they need money.
Well, this works, meaning like our stuff works because. And then Elon Musk in the midst of all of it. If I'm DeSantis, I'm very, very pissed at Elon Musk because Elon, who apparently gets everything going so well, he couldn't even make Twitter work. I mean, seriously, Elon does not get the free ride. It didn't work. Twitter did not work. Damn, dude. What did you do? Come on. What the hell? Is it because he's so involved with space and he's so involved with Tesla? He can't get the thing
Well, he stepped down.
Twitter.
He stepped down from Twitter. Remember, he put a CEO in charge. So really, is it his fault?
Yeah, it's his fault. He owns a company. You own it, and you were promoted. He was promoted with it, the whole situation. Elon, not good.
Not to mention, if you're doing something that big, I don't care what company it is, you're going to make sure that it's flawless.
Yes.
No, I agree. I 100% agree from that standpoint. Yeah, he owns the damn company. Anyway, that was the bad deal, the Twitter tank from Ron DeSantis, Elon Musk last night. And you have your favorites. You already have it. I don't care if it would have been great. I'm not sure it would have taken people away from Donald Trump. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
There's no way. So, Kathy, maybe Elon should stay out of our presidential politics. Paul says it was embarrassing for Elon. I still think there are plants within Twitter. Of course, there probably are.
Oh, of course. People are still getting banned on Twitter. It's better. It's not perfect.
And Jay says it was a ploy to draw the younger voters. I said yesterday I thought it might have been younger, maybe the independents that are out there that may not have already been solidified with their choices of what's happening.
And those are the people, those are the people that DeSantis needs to rally, is the younger people for sure.
Well, we've got another massive issue that's going on in this country. We're hearing everything from June 8th, maybe June 10th when it comes to the debt ceiling. We have never defaulted. I don't think we're going to default.
We will on June 1st if we don't have something signed.
We're hearing from Janet Yellen that we heard about June 1st, but we could probably pay till June 8th, maybe June 10th.
They will come. I'm with you, Vic. They will come to an agreement. They will come to an agreement.
So with that being said, but when they do, keep in mind, where do you sit on this? Listen to this Kevin McCarthy sound. Kevin McCarthy explaining what Biden and Democrats are doing. Now, these arguments have gone on since the start of time, but really think about this. What's happening? Republicans have been very out in the open going, listen, we have to have some sort of way to cut money. You've got to be responsible. You can't continue to spend. And with all due respect, Democrats know that they spend. They do. And all of the social programs and everything else that's out there, creating money out of nowhere, giving billions, well, close to it, to Ukraine, promoting all of these issues outside of our country. Well, here's Kevin McCarthy explaining what the hell is going on as he has tried to reach out to Biden and where we sit right now.
President, he didn't talk to us for 97 days. So don't blame me for reaching out to the Democrats for begging the president to meet with me are trying to find it. And don't blame us, Republicans, when we put a reasonable bill together that we actually took Democrats' ideas. So it's not my fault that the Democrats today have become so extreme, so far to the socialist wing, that they are now opposed to work requirements, that they are now opposed to saving $1 less than you spent the year before. The president.
Thank you, Kevin McCarthy. He has turned into a badass. He has been nothing short of perfect since he has been in this position. And he pretty much puts it out there. Why do you want to continue to spend, Democrats? I mean, this goes all the way back to the first days of Rush Limbaugh as he started his massive radio empire. Spend. It should be in the name of the Democrats. Why is it so hard for people to agree and think of this? You get so comfortable. Oh, we're just going to spend money. We'll just create more money. And by the way, all the money that's being created is digital. It's digital money, and it's going to burn you. It's going to burn you. Great job, Kevin McCarthy. Could you imagine being Kevin McCarthy and having to deal with Joe Biden or whoever it is and the Democrats in the White House with all of this going on?
I wish that Kevin McCarthy would speak out and let us know what these meetings are like with Joe Biden, because it can't be him sitting down and having a rational conversation with Joe Biden. It cannot be. That cannot possibly happen. So who is he really negotiating with? Who is he talking to? Who are the people speaking up in the meetings? And we've talked about the debt ceiling a few times on the show recently, because we know we're reaching that time frame where we have to do something, or we're really going to have some serious problems. Why is Biden trying to use the 14th Amendment against us?
Oh, I heard about that.
He's because instead of Democrats agreeing, all they have to do, Vic, Republicans already signed the bill to raise the debt ceiling. They already signed it. It's good. It's ready to go. The only thing Biden has to do is to agree to limit spending. He absolutely refuses to limit spending. He refuses to do it. And therefore, he said that he was willing to do anything, including using the 14th Amendment to go against McCarthy. Against us is really what it is. He's going against us, the people.
Well, allegedly, Republicans have been floating ideas that range from ideas exchanging from an increase in the debt limit, including capping. This is important, I think, capping the domestic spending at fiscal 2019 levels, going back to 2019, and bringing defense programs down to 2023 spending levels. And they say that it's something a budget experts estimate could save our country $1.7 trillion over the next decade. Falling on deaf ears.
We'll just give it to you.
Democrats call it draconian. Democrats say, oh, no, we're not going back to that. No idea where this is headed. I do think they'll get something done, but
they will get something done. But where will it be? If Biden's not even willing to budge at all, not at all, if he's willing to use the 14th Amendment to circumvent the plan that the Republicans have in place, how is that going to affect us? Vic, as you guys know, we gave 2 big aid packages to Ukraine this month. 2, $1.75 billion, and then $375 million the next week. I mean, what about us Americans? Look how far that money would go right here in our own country.
No, it would make sense. I mean, but we're going to continue to follow the debt ceiling leading up to the next week to 2 week of situations that are going on.
And did you know that Congress broke for the weekend? So obviously it's not that big of a deal.
Oh, and not only
they're
did
on vacation until Tuesday.
Yeah, and not only did they break, in the midst of all of this stuff going on, where's Joe Biden? Joe Biden is on vacation yet again in the midst of all of this going on. So with it, something has to be going on. Well, they're with each other, right? They've got to have some kind of deal together behind the scenes.
Oh, 100%.
No, they don't. I don't believe that they do, because think about it.
He's just taken off.
Well, Republicans already wrote the bill. They already wrote the bill to raise the debt ceiling. It's already been approved. The only thing that has to happen is Biden has to sign it. And they're not wanting to pass it because they don't want to meet in the middle. And so the Congress broke. I doubt there was going to be any productive conversation anyway. But don't you think that they should work and hammer this out until it's done?
Yeah, we all say that. But once again, Warren Buffett, it goes back to the famous Warren Buffett quote. He's like, I could solve all of our national debt in 3 seconds.
That's right.
He's like, nobody gets paid in Congress until the budget is solved.
That's right. Instead of taking their nice little cushy
it would
vacation,
be done in a heartbeat.
We probably talk about it more than they do. I mean, seriously, it's ridiculous. Hammer it out, get it done.
All right. Well, we've got our guest coming in now, and this is very interesting. And you can bring him in. Mike England from St. Mary's High School. Lizzie, and you could jump in if you wanted to at Eric's spot. Okay. 2 days ago, we talked about a brand new program that we have. Hey, Mike, getting set up. Good morning. St. Mary's, when it comes to the trade, has put together a first of its kind program. And you can sit or stand, whatever makes you feel comfortable, my friend.
Okay.
A first of its kind program, Tabitha and Lizzie, and for our guest, where kids are learning all kinds of trades.
It's about time.
And when I saw the article, I called Mike immediately to find out more about this, and we were able to get him in here. And it wasn't that long ago, as I was talking about you the other day, Mike, regarding, what was it, 2 years ago, year and a half ago? Oh, St. Mary's isn't even going to be around anymore. And boom, rising from the alleged ashes, here is St. Mary's rocking and rolling. Good morning. Welcome to Cancel This, my friend.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
If you can tell everybody who you are, kind of what you do at the school, and what's going on with this new program.
Well, my name is Mike England. I'm the president at St. Mary's High School, soon to become the new St. Mary's Southside Catholic High School. Back in September, we were shocked to get the announcement of the Archdiocese saying that they had decided that they were going to close St. Mary's High School. And at that time, at that meeting, I just looked at him and I said, no, that can't happen. The school's too important. It's too important to the young men that we serve. It's too important to our Dutchtown neighborhood in South City that has a median income of $26,000. Closing that school would have taken an already underserved area and just devastated it. And so we immediately began working on putting together the new school. We've had great support, great success. And along the way, because what we're doing is we're moving independent of the Archdiocese. And the fact that we've been able to move independent of the Archdiocese gives us much more flexibility and freedom to do what we want to do. And I've always had this idea of the great pathway that the trades can offer. Fantastic career opportunities, making a wonderful salary with fantastic benefits. Why would we not want to put that in front of our young men?
And job security for kids.
Absolutely.
Because, right now I talked to so many people in the trade industry that own HVAC companies and, car repair centers and auto body, and they are so desperately in need of employees. And, I remember when the switch took place where kids were more encouraged to go to a 4-year college versus trade school. High school stopped having shop class. Yep. And it has destroyed part of our country.
It created a stigma. That college was the only path.
Yes.
And if you didn't go to college, that meant that you were somebody that were somehow less or could not do.
Which is not true.
I still feel
not true at all.
Absolutely.
But Mike, I still feel like that's getting pushed.
It does. No doubt about it.
I just went to graduations this last weekend, and there's so much of an emphasis on, well, what college are you going to? What college are you going to? I mean, even when you graduate, attending such and such university, and I'm like, it doesn't have to be that way.
No.
And where has that gotten us? The primary people, the glue that
college
holds this
is good.
Together.
We're not ripping college.
No, but the glue that holds this country together are the trades.
We've got a young man. He's the son of our principal at St. Mary's, and 3 years ago he graduated. 26, 27 on the ACT. Could have gone to any college that he wanted to go to. He didn't want to go to college. He wanted to go and study to be a plumber. And so he went to Rankin Tech. He went to Rankin Tech for a year. And then a plumbing company came along and took him and said, we're going to hire you now. We're going to teach you everything else that you need to know. Oh, and we're going to pay you. And this young man right now, 3 years out of high school, is making nearly six figures with amazing benefits. Oh, and by the way, no college debt.
Exactly.
I think that's a good option to consider for everybody.
So how are you able to talk about the programs that you have for these kids? And this is going to start next school year,
It'll
correct?
start in the fall. And
because Mike, this doesn't seem like any small task which you've done. I mean, I pulled up the list of all the trades that you're working with, and there's at least 12 or 13.
15.
Wow.
Yeah, because you have to have the equipment. You have to have people that can have the skills to teach it.
15. And what happened, and again, I've always had this idea that this would be something that would be great for our young men. We have an alum of St. Mary's. His name is Jake Hummel, and Jake is the president of the AFL-CIO. Jake's son also just graduated this year from St. Mary's, so he was a senior at St. Mary's. And so when the announcement from the Archdiocese came, I had people reaching out to me saying, what can I do to help? And Jake got in touch with me, and I said, come in here. I want to have a meeting. So he came into my office, and I told him about, what I'd like to do. And I said, so what I'd like you to do for me is go and create this program for St. Mary's, make it be something that isn't going to cost us anything, and get back to me. And he says, I think I can do that. And so through his contacts, and he's got a myriad of contacts at the state level, at the federal level, throughout all of the unions, Jake was able to pull together for us that is now fully funded for 4 years, a pre-apprenticeship program. And so in this pre-apprenticeship program, all of our young men that will participate in this program, it's 120 hours of training, and everything is provided. There is not one penny that the school or any of our young men have to put out. They will provide the teachers, they will provide the equipment, they will provide the transportation. All of our young men will visit all 15 of these different trades throughout the semester. And then at the end of it, once they've completed the program, they will all have earned their OSHA 10 card, which is a safety designation, which will then allow them, upon graduation from St. Mary's, it will then allow them to go into one of those 15 apprenticeships and immediately begin as an apprentice in that program.
That's life-changing. I mean, because that's going to save the lives, literally, of some of these kids. Because some of these kids, when they leave school, if they can't afford to go to college, if they don't have a scholarship, they're going to have some options there where they can go out and get a job immediately. And not only that, but it's life skills that they can do for the rest of their lives.
Absolutely.
AI will never replace a plumber.
Absolutely.
Or some of these other positions.
And I'm gonna take it a step further because where we're located, we're in South City, and our Dutchtown neighborhood is an underserved neighborhood. And I tell people, and if you've got time, I don't want to go too long.
No,
but
Mike, come on. You're blowing up our comment line.
We got nothing but time for
I've got a story that I tell. And it was in my second year at St. Mary's, and I got to school in October morning on a Monday, and my assistant said to me, you need to get over to the St. Joe's building, which was a building on our campus, a horrible building, falling apart. It was there. And I said, why? They said, the police are over there and they're arresting some people. And so I go over there and walk over, and they've got a gentleman, and he's got handcuffs on, and he's got a St. Mary's soccer sweatshirt on, and he's got football wide receiver gloves on. So obviously he'd been in the building. And I said, what happened? And they said him and his buddies were in the building the entire weekend, and they were ripping it apart, taking as much copper as they could take out of the building. And so I said, okay. And I went back into my office, and shortly thereafter, I received a phone call from Channel 2, and Channel 2 said, we hear there's been a break-in on your campus, and we want to come and do a story. And I said, there really isn't a story here. And they said, no, we're coming. And so I said, okay, meet me in my office. So they came into my office, the reporter and the camera person, and I said, listen, if you do this story the way I think you might do it, you're going to scare everybody from coming to St. Mary's. And if nobody comes to St. Mary's, then the school closes. And if the school closes, this neighborhood right now that's not doing real well, pick a number and multiply it by it, because that's how much worse it's going to be. And they said, okay, we agree with that. How do you want to do the story? And I said, here's how I want to do the story. I said, I want you, so on camera, they said, we know at St. Mary's, you do a lot of community outreach. Does the fact that this happened make you less inclined to do so? And I said, no, it makes us more inclined to do so, because here's what people need to understand. The people that did this were not born inherently bad people. They are a product of the poverty, the lack of opportunity, and the lack of education that exists in this neighborhood. And until we address that, nothing is going to change. So fast forward to this idea. I have a dream of taking this idea a step further. My idea of this is hopefully, please God, and I keep throwing it out into the universe. And if anybody that's listening wants to help me fund this to get it done sooner rather than later, please give me a call at St. Mary's High School.
And this is Mike England. He is the president at St. Mary's High School, explaining what's going on with this new trade program.
I want to build a training facility on our campus.
That would be fantastic.
And I want that training facility to offer this program that our young men are going to be taking advantage of. But I want them to offer it also for other young people attending schools, high schools in the city during the day. But at night, I want to offer evening classes where adults in the neighborhood can learn a very marketable skill.
I love that. That's how you cut down crime.
Well,
and that's how you save your community.
Here's the deal. This is, for me, makes perfect sense. It is much better to teach people how to fish than to give them a fish. And we've been giving people fish for so long, and it doesn't improve anything. If we start to teach people and give them opportunities and access, St. Mary's High School, one of the benefits of being in Dutchtown is we are the highest concentration of kids under the age of 18 in the city of St. Louis. So we are in the middle of a lot of people. So bring the training to them instead of making them have to go and find the training. And I think we're helping both sides. We're helping the people with the jobs, and we're helping the unions that are so desperate for these people that can come in and do the job.
And the best thing about this is this has nothing to do with politics of any kind whatsoever.
No.
This is about helping people, giving them a vision, giving them a path, and saving a school and a community at the same point in time.
Saving lives. Not only saving the lives of these kids, but of their future families, of their kids. Because when you teach one person a skill, they tend to pass that skill down to their children. And I mean, think about how life-changing this is.
Mike, I hope that you get a chance when you leave today to go to canceltheshow.com. If you can look through our chat line, it's blowing up with, I can't even get to all of the compliments to you and what you're trying to do. And I know this isn't about you, and this isn't about, oh, look at me and blah, blah. This is about saving kids. It's been a while since we've had people blow up our chat line like this, thanking you for what you're trying to do. Specifically people who have come from maybe some impoverished neighborhoods, saying, like Nicole Jenkins, one of our co-hosts, we have Mike, as a product of an impoverished neighborhood. I would like to say thank you from the bottom of my heart. It's people like yourself that help both myself and my peers succeed. And I'm sure that's kind of the mission when it comes to everything that's going on with you.
The thing when they came to close St. Mary's High School, we have a unique mission. Our mission is to provide a quality Catholic education to all young men, but especially those that cannot afford it. And that's the difficult part. And that's the part that unfortunately led to the Archdiocese making their decision to close us. They couldn't, as far as they were concerned, they couldn't afford to subsidize us anymore. And so for us to move forward, we have to figure out how we're going to continue doing this mission and putting together the funding that will allow us, again, to make this quality Catholic education. You're a product, as you said, with your going to graduations, and I'm a product of CBC High School, and I was at CBC High School for 25 years. So I've been very much a part of the private Catholic school community. Wonderful schools, fantastic schools. Unfortunately, they have become only for the best and the brightest and those that can afford it.
Correct.
And that chasm continues to grow. And as we continue to grow that, we continue to grow this segment of the haves and the have-nots. And so at St. Mary's High School, being in the Dutchtown neighborhood in South City, being the only Catholic high school in South City, an area that needs us, why would we stay there if we're not going to serve that neighborhood? And serving that neighborhood means that a lot of the families while everybody that comes to St. Mary's pays something. We never ask any family to pay more than they're capable of paying because we don't want a tuition payment going ahead of food or electricity or heat or air conditioning or any of those things.
That is fantastic.
This is a breath of fresh air, not only for all of our listeners and our viewers in the St. Louis area to hear, but across the country. And we have lots of listeners across the country too, Mike. I'm curious, when you tell your story, had you seen this happening anywhere else? Any sort of plan where this was in a high school across the country, or was it just one of those things where, as one of our viewers just said, this had to be divine intervention?
Well, it's been, God's hand's been on this. There's no doubt about it. I have been since that story that I told you about the interview on TV, I've understood what we need to do, which is address the poverty, the lack of opportunity, and the lack of education. Because if we can do that, then many of these other issues will get better. They're not going to go away. I'm just trying to move the needle a little. I'm not naive enough.
That's not a little. Well, that's a lot.
But I'm not naive enough to think that we're going to solve all of this. But you know what? If we can make it a little better, that's a good thing.
Mike, it's fantastic, because think about this. This is high school, correct? Or yes. All ages high school?
High school.
And so you have these high school kids. They already have to be at school. It's not like they're choosing an elective to go to Rankin. They're already at high school, and they're going to start learning these skills. And that means when they leave your school, or even while they're still attending your school, and let's say they need to make money, they need to pay their bills, they need to help their family out, instead of having to resort to stealing or committing crime or maybe even working at a fast food place, they have these skills that they can go out and get a job with an HVAC company or a plumbing company. I mean, or they can be a private contractor and just help people in the neighborhood. It's really opening so many doors for these kids.
We had a great thing happen last week, I believe, 2 weeks ago. And I think it was because of some of the publicity that we've gotten with starting this program. And one of my friends that works for the Centrip Automotive Group saw what we were doing. And I think I know they got together and they said, we've got an idea. And they called and they said, will all of your seniors that are graduating from St. Mary's, will they all go to college? And I said, no, there's a small segment that are going to move into the workforce. And they said, well, we'd like to come and present to them. And so they did. And we had 5 young men that of our graduating seniors that sat with them, and they presented to them, offering them jobs to start working with them immediately, because they were like, we know if you come out of this school, you've had a good education. We want you. We'll train you. We'll teach you everything. 2 of them already working there. Already got full-time.
Wow.
Amazing.
Awesome. The next
Amazing.
day. Next day.
You're giving kids hope. That's amazing.
If you're just joining us right now from a live standpoint, this is Mike England, the president of St. Mary's Catholic High School in the St. Louis area. What did you say the new name is going to be?
St. Mary's Southside Catholic High School. That was a request from the Archdiocese because they want to distinguish between the old entity and the new entity.
Okay. Yeah, I get it for whatever it's worth. And the interesting thing about this entire situation is implementing a program for high school students, because if you haven't checked or haven't seen, there are colleges that are worried and they're talking about their endowments right now. And I know this because when I did trips with my son, they are afraid because the cost of college has gone up so far. The debt is there. If we hit a recession, jobs, what do you fall back on? What do you have? Is there another way for kids, as Mike has so eloquently explained today, where they've put all of these trades? Just listen to trades when you think about who they've been able to partner with in the St. Louis area. And of course, I know we have listeners all over the country, but think about a program like this, which is getting ready to start in the St. Louis area. And I'd love to see it be implemented all over the country, Mike. Bricklayers, the Mid-America, this was the Bricklayers Local, Mid-America Carpenters Regional Council, the Construction Craft Laborers Joint Apprenticeship, the International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers, the IBEW, iron workers, operating engineers, the plumbers and pipe fitters, sheet metal workers, cement masons Joint Apprenticeship. These are just some of the trades that are there for kids to learn. And it goes on and on and on.
I took a visit last week to the new pipe fitters and plumbers facility that they have. 80,000 square feet. I mean, you talk about unbelievable training, unbelievable opportunity. I mean, and again, these are things that we don't know. Pat White, who is the head of the unions, who is a friend, he said, do young people know that Boeing has a program that's at Florissant Valley Community College, and it's free. You go there, you go through the program, and then after you go through that program, after 2 years, Boeing hires you. These opportunities are out there, but they get lost in the cloud of college. They get lost in the cloud that this is the only, a path that you can go on. And it is. There is a college path, but it's not the only path. And when you talk about especially what the city of St. Louis needs, again, when we're talking about creating opportunity and education in underserved areas, to not bring this along just doesn't make sense. This makes perfect sense.
I love it.
Well,
I absolutely love it.
Not only is this so great, but you guys also have one of the best sports programs in the St. Louis area.
We do
Absolutely.
And we haven't even talked about the sports aspect of the school as well.
Well, we do okay with that. Now, the other thing is too, we're still college prep.
Yeah.
We're still going to have that path for young men that want to move on there. The thing about St. Mary's that I love, and for people that don't know, we are absolutely the most diverse Catholic high school in the St. Louis metropolitan region. We're 45% African American, 35% Caucasian, 15% Hispanic, 5% everybody else. And I tell our school community, we are a picture of what I think St. Louis should be.
You know what it is? I witnessed that firsthand when I was with Channel 2 doing a story there. I think it was for graduation as well. I got to see the entire makeup of the school.
Yeah.
All working together.
All together. all looking out for each other, all having each other's back, all being, having this brotherhood. I mean, come on. This is a picture of what can be.
I love, what can we do to help? I mean, people have been asking in the comment, like, how do you donate?
Well, contact me. We've got a website. We started a campaign because once we announced that that we were not going anywhere after the Archdiocese announced that they intended to close us, so many people were calling and saying, we want to give you money, but we don't want to go to the Archdiocese. We want to give it to you. And so we needed to get a separate website up quick, and we needed to come up with a name of our campaign. And the name we came up with was The Work Is Ours. And I think that really encompasses what it is that we're doing, because this work is ours. I say all the time, in our neighborhood, if not St. Mary's, then who?
Right.
If not St. Mary's, then who? If we don't do this, then who? Now, earlier this week, I went and I spoke at a breakfast of union leaders, and I thanked them. And I said, thank you for finally giving me an answer to that question. If not St. Mary's, then who? Mm-hmm. The unions. If not St. Mary's, then who? Anybody that's listening right now that would like to contribute, donate, invest in this vision, in this dream of what we want to bring to an underserved area. I want to bring economic opportunity, economic development as a part of our 27-acre campus serving. And I wear my shirt today. How familiar are you with St. Joseph Housing at all?
No.
Okay.
No.
Well, that's my shirt.
I was looking at when you came in. I was like, that's not the St. Mary's.
No, I wore it because I was hoping we could talk about it. 5 years ago, then Archbishop Carlson came to a lady by the name of Bridget Flood, who's the executive director of the Incarnate Word Foundation, and she lives in the neighborhood, and said, I want to do something around housing that is a response to the Ferguson report, and I would like you to help me with it. So Bridget was seeing all the different things that we were doing at St. Mary's, and she came and asked for a meeting with me and came in and said, I'd like you to partner with me on this. And so through that partnership with Bridget and I, and we had some St. Mary's board members and we had some Incarnate Word Foundation board members, and we came together and we came up with this mission, and we named it the St. Joseph Housing Initiative. And we presented it to Archbishop Carlson, and he gave us our first $500,000 to fund the mission. And the mission of the nonprofit is this, and the offices are at St. Mary's High School. We purchase homes around St. Mary's. We renovate them to the highest standard possible. New roof, new HVAC, new appliances. And then we sell them to low and moderate income families that have never had the opportunity to be a homeowner before, allowing them for the first time to build up their own personal wealth and equity by being a homeowner. We have already moved families into 10 homes. 5 of those homes were on Alaska Street. All 5 of those homes were vacant. So not only did we move families into a great home and help their current situation, we also transformed that block by eliminating 5 vacant houses that were on that block.
That's beautiful. That is beautiful.
I used to live in that general area off of Kings Highway, if you know Kings Highway, Chippewa. And I'll tell you what, it needs help. It needs this. It needs people like you. And I hope people donate to this cause.
We walked in. We got a call.
Damn, Mike, you're bringing Republicans and Democrats together today.
We got a call.
all on the same page.
We got a call a year ago from a gentleman that said, "I hear you buy houses. Could you buy mine?" And our executive director, Maureen McCune, went over, and it was November, cold, and she walked in the front door of the house and looked straight to the back of the house, and there was no back wall. Gone.
Oh, wow.
And she said, "Why are you still here?" And he said, he was 67 years old. He said, "I still owe $40,000 on my mortgage on the house. I can't leave." Maureen says, "We're going to help you." So we got him out of that house. We got him into a assisted living situation. He's still there. He's doing great. We went to the bank, Wells Fargo. Thank you, Wells Fargo. Plug for Wells Fargo, because Wells Fargo forgave the $40,000 mortgage and gave us $20,000 if we would take over the house and renovate it.
Wow.
The house is currently almost complete, and we look forward to probably moving a family in there late July, August of this year.
Isn't that amazing?
When you go back and look at the comments, there are those who want you to run for mayor at some point in time. I say he shouldn't run for mayor. He needs to continue to do what he's doing because the young kids need what is going on right now.
Gosh. Well, the thing is, and this is, we got to do.
That's exactly right.
Talking it does nothing. Talking does it. You got an idea, I got an idea, and we walk away, and nothing happens. We've got to do. And so, for me, that's always been what this is about. Go ahead and try it, and if it works, we've accomplished something. If it doesn't work, okay, then we'll go back and refine it. But we've got to do, and we've especially got to invest in underserved areas, not disinvest. And that was the concern about if they closed St. Mary's. That was going to be a huge disinvestment of a very positive resource in an underserved area. That can't happen.
Can you come back on and give us some updates?
Absolutely.
What is the website where people can go and learn more? First of all, the website to donate, Mike, but
website to donate is www.theworkisours.com. You can also, call directly to St. Mary's High School, 314-481-8400. My extension is 122. Please call me, because I would love to. Anyone that would like to invest, I would love to just sit down and have you come out to the school and visit and meet and see. We've got a beautiful, as you know, 27-acre campus.
Oh, you do?
We do once a year. We do a day of service.
We've been showing your website as well, so people can see that.
We do a day of service where we go. We have a prayer service in the morning, feed the boys donuts and juice and milk, and then we shut school down. And the entire school community goes out into our neighborhood, and we pick up trash, we cut grass, we pull weeds. We cover, 8-10 blocks around St. Mary's. And for about, 8 to 10 days after we do that, there's a picture of what can be.
That's right.
It unfortunately goes back to what it was, but that's okay. We'll still come back next year. We'll still do it next year, because there's going to be one day when what can be stays. And that, for me, is what we continue to work toward. You know, as a athlete yourself, you don't complain about losing. You figure out what you can do to get better, and you go back and you try to do better next time. And I think that's what we try to do each and every day at St. Mary's.
Real quick, you're still accepting for kids for next year, right?
The great news right now, and I really appreciate the time. Thank you. The great news right now is we've, in the last 4 months, we've raised $5 million. We have a goal of raising $12 million.
That's an accomplishment.
12 million will cover our operations for the next 5 years. So we're accepting donations, over a 5-year period of time, and we've already we've already raised $5 million. We already have $2 million in the bank. We have right now 63 freshmen enrolled for next year's freshman class. We have accepted 80. And so we continue to work with the ones that have not yet enrolled, but we're projecting that our enrollment is going to be between 70 and 80 in the freshman class next year. We just graduated a senior class of 56, so our enrollment will go up next year. So all of those things are very positive, because if no one comes to St. Mary's, then there won't be a St. Mary's. So we have to keep that enrollment up, and part of keeping the enrollment up is offering programs like the pre-apprenticeship program and a great college prep program as well.
Do you have to live in a certain area?
No. Nope. And we have a bus that comes, picks up young men, it goes through North County and North City.
Excellent.
Brings about 25 to 30 young men in each day.
Mike, you've been amazing. Thank you so much for taking the time. Would give you the time anytime. If anything else is going on that you think is newsworthy regarding this, any other projects, please keep us informed. Let us know. And please go back and I know we only see the success of things after it's done. We don't see all the hard work behind the scenes, all those meetings, all those calls, all those talks, everything trying to make it happen. Please go back and look at the comments from people, not only throughout the city of St. Louis, the county, the state of Missouri, but across the country, about what you guys are doing right now. If it's anything for you and your team, just for that extra motivation of what's happening right now in South St. Louis, in Dutchtown.
Thank you. I really appreciate your time this morning. Thank you.
All right. Mike England, the president from St. Mary's South Side Catholic High School.
Amen.
All right. We got it. We're going to take a quick break, guys. When we come back, after you take a look at our partners for the show, we're going to be joined by Jonathan Heslop from Rockwood Charcoal. We'll talk some news events that are going on. Tabitha did her tab take. We'll talk about a brand new radio show out of Canada that may blow your mind, and also a sad situation brought to light by Project Veritas regarding what's happening with some dark web and pedophilia that you just really need to know about as parents to take care of our youth. This is cancelthisshow.com. Projo's on the boards. Lizzie's running all the chat lines. Tabitha Hassel's here. I'm Vic Faust. Eric is sick today. Back in about 2 minutes.
House has the largest selection of solid wood with the hottest new styles. Real furniture that's built to last, like our solid bedrooms, living rooms, and dining from Kincaid. Our volume enables us to save you a lot of money, especially during our solid wood sale. Plus, get free financing, fast free delivery, and free in-home design. So for solid wood, sweet styles, and solid service since 1964, shop over 3 football fields of furniture at Carroll House, because you like nice things.
Hey guys, this is Dr. Mahesh Bhagway. I'm an orthopedic surgeon here in St. Louis for over the last 20 years. I went to Washington University. I got my medical degree at St. Louis University. From local high school athletes, college athletes, weekend warriors, injured workers, and even Cardinal baseball players, I've treated them all. Our practice strives to personalize care with every new patient being seen by me. To find me, contact my staff at drbagwe.com. That's DRBAGWE.com. Hopefully you don't need me, but if you do, you can find me now.
Jonathan, what does make Rockwood so special?
Rockwood, we carbonize it higher than anybody else does. So we're cooking out everything that produces ash, smoke, anything like that. It gives you a lot more control over the temperature, a lot more control over the fire, and it's 100% Missouri product.
All right, where can people get it?
It's at 100-plus locations around St. Louis, any Deerberg, Straub's, meat markets, wine and cheese stores, hardware stores, you name it, we're around St. Louis. Just check the website.
And good charcoal should be able to break apart in your hands like
absolutely.
Rockwood does,
Yeah.
right?
If you can't break it apart by hand, it's not charcoal yet. It's still wood. They didn't do the job. So make sure it can break apart by hand.
All right, get your Rockwood Charcoal. Let's talk roofs. Voted best roofing pro in all of St. Charles County, RJR and Associates Roofing has been protecting people from the chaotic Missouri weather for over 20 years. Business and homeowners, whether you need to patch a leaky roof or it's just time for a completely new one, RJR has got you covered. Just call our buddy Ron today at 314-852-5074. That's 314-852-5074.
Marco, wait, what? No response? Hi, I'm Curtis Sparks with Complete Auto Body and Repair, offering full service and auto repair to St. Louis and St. Charles. We are looking for someone to say polo. That's right, we are hiring. We want you now. If you would like to work in a well-paying environment, then you owe it to yourself to stop by one of our 6 Complete Auto Body and Repair locations. Will you help me find that missing person? Please call me directly at 636-488-HIRE. That's right, 636-488-4473.
Dad and service.
Oh yeah, and service.
He fixes cars.
Hey guys, welcome back to cancelthisshow.com. I'm Vic Faust with Tabitha Hassel, Lizzie Sparks alongside. Pro Joe running the boards. Eric Johnson, unfortunately, is sick today. Hopefully he's getting a little better with what's going on. And we also bring in our good friend, Jonathan Heslop from Rockwood Charcoal. What's up, my man?
Great to be here.
Hey, did you have a chance to hear any of our previous guests, by the way?
I did. That's a tough act, hard act to follow, Mike. Wow.
I mean,
what a story.
Yeah, but here's the thing. You're super successful. You don't just start with anything. Oh, yeah, I've got all this money. I've got all these opportunities. You got to start somewhere, just like you have.
Yeah, that's that Altoff education you and I got, right?
Oh, yeah. By the way, yeah, we went to the same high school, Jonathan and I did.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I'm only like 2 decades older, though.
Come on.
Not that old.
Something like that. And by the way, we appreciate everybody for staying with us. CancelTheShow.com. Of course, Monday through Friday, 8 to 10 a.m. Central, and all the time on our website, CancelTheShow.com. And special thanks to Mike England, of course, who was just here from St. Mary's High School. So many topics we talk about on the show. And obviously, we want debate. We want talk. I mean, I know things with politics, Republicans versus Democrats, independents versus liberals, whatever you've got. It's great to see a story of somebody trying to do something where politics does not get brought in, and politics gets brought in way too much. I think you're either going to help somebody or you're not, and we're not going to make it political. So if you want to help out, again, you can go to their website with St. Mary's that we were just talking about, not only for the trades, which are so super popular, but what they're trying to do in that community.
That is, Mike England had answers. And that's what we need. We need answers. And think about this. If we did this in every community, we would not be in the situation we're in right now.
Well said.
And that town needs it down there. I used to have a warehouse down there.
I used to live out that way. And I'm telling you what.
And what, in South
the community
St. Louis
needs
area?
it.
Yeah, Dutchtown, what he mentioned. Yeah.
How long ago were you there?
It was 5-6 years ago. We had a spot in the old National Records Archive down off of President Street. And that's been a couple years, though. We've got another place now up off of Union, which isn't that great of a neighborhood either, but it's getting hopefully better.
Hey, can you guys remember the website again that Mike told us? I was writing another.
Got it on my phone. I was looking it up to see because I was reading more.
Of course you were. And
theworkisours.com. I've got it scrolling on the screen.
The Work Is Ours.
Oh, yeah, it's right here on our screen.
Okay.
You guys could partner because you know what? Barbecue, smoking meat is literally a skill. People start businesses to do that. You could partner with them and offer your own trade program and show people how to make money smoking meat.
That's a great idea.
Well, as our listeners and viewers can probably tell already, Jonathan's very comfortable in front of a TV camera. He's very comfortable on the mic.
He's a wild man.
We just want to remind, and you talk, you're no stranger to talking politics and current events, and that's why we invite you in. But most importantly, the graphic that's behind you. Give us an update really quick again about Rockwood, how people can find your product, why it's the best. And then, of course, Tabitha is going to give an example, and Projo, who have tried your stuff as well.
Excellent. Yeah. It's busiest weekend of the year for barbecue. This is it. This week, this kind of month between Mother's Day and Father's Day, it is all day, every day. I'm out. I've got the 26-foot box truck out in the parking lot right now. I'm out doing deliveries today, hitting about 15 stores today to get everybody stocked up for the weekend, because tomorrow I got to get out of here and head down to the lake for PRL, 4 nights down at Shady Gators. So
and for those who don't know,
better get himself well.
And what do you do with PRL again?
I run the lights, among other things, but it's a lot of fun. And Eric didn't show up for band practice last night, so we were trying to figure out what was going on with him. Now
he probably snuck some of the gummies out yesterday.
I think that's what happened, and now he's really sick.
Okay.
So you don't want him there, because God knows what he would have done last night. So
it's never any worse than normal. So, yeah.
I know I'm ready for this weekend.
And if you could, why is your charcoal so good? The last time you blew a lot of people's mind about charcoal. I have never looked at it the same since you came in last month.
That's what I did. It's 10 years now. It was earlier this month was the 10-year anniversary of when it launched. And the difference is that people saw charcoal as a commodity, nothing else. They didn't know the difference between briquettes, lump, and then premium lump charcoal. And that's kind of what, I didn't invent it. I just learned how to market it, basically, and convey that premium lump charcoal is different. Before that, they bought whatever was cheapest on the rack. What we do differently is there's a big difference between briquettes. People call briquettes charcoal. They're not. They're a combination. There might be some charcoal in them, but there's a whole bunch of other stuff like anthracite and borax, starch, a lot of limestone, other things that weigh the bag down, things that don't burn. So get away from those briquettes. If you use my charcoal, great, but get off of briquettes, move over to lump charcoal that is just wood and nothing else. There's a pretty good chance if you buy it, it's made in the U.S., it's made here in Missouri, because about 80% of it's made in Missouri and the Ozark National Forest in northern Arkansas. So our lump charcoal, we don't take down a single tree for it. It's only coming from all the scraps of wood that can't be used in milling operations. It's stuff that's too knotty, warped, short, not suitable to be made into hardwood lumber. So those come over to the charcoal plant. So we're using a waste product to start out with. It's only Missouri oak, hickory. There might be some cherry. There might be some pecan, maple, other Missouri hardwoods in there, but mostly oak. Things you're going to cook with anyway. If you're using a charcoal that's coming out of Mexico, or you're using a charcoal that's coming out of South America, or worse, China, who knows what kind of wood that's made out of, and pretty good chance they clear cut the forest to make it. So, I mean, that's how it's so cheap. But we're only using the best Missouri woods for this, and then we put it in a kiln and we fire it hotter than anybody else to get it a super high carbonization. We talked about it last time. If you can't break it apart by hand, it's not charcoal. You should take it out of the bag and you should hear it go tink, 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 tink. It should have a very metallic sound. That's the carbon in it. If you can't hear that, if you drop it and it goes thud and it doesn't shatter, it's still wood. There's water and wood fiber in that. You're paying for things that are heavier than carbon that don't burn.
And you hear that little tinking when it's burning too. Yes. When you first put it on.
That's the carbon.
Yeah.
That's what you hear. That is 80 to 85% carbon. And this big 20-pound bag that we sell you is going to cook down to ash that can probably fit in the palm of your hand. Maybe about 12 ounces of ash out of a 20-pound bag.
Is it stranger that you have to use less? I mean, when I use your lump charcoal, I use less than if I bought briquettes.
She's using 3 little pieces.
No. But I make my little pile, and I'm making a smaller pile that lasts longer and cooks more.
That's because of the carbonization. And that's because what's in that bag, our charcoal is roughly 11,000 BTU per pound, maybe closer to 12,000 BTU per pound.
It burns much hotter than
absolutely
charcoal.
And that's the briquette. You're looking at something less than maybe 6,000, 7,000, 8,000 BTU per pound. So the lump charcoal is nearly double the BTU by weight.
And by the way, for all of our viewers and listeners, do not use lighter fluid.
Please do not use that on any product. If you use that, it's a petroleum product. It's basically it's a waste product of jet fuel and kerosene manufacturing. And you dump that on briquettes, it burns off. But on lump charcoal, if you put that on a lump charcoal, it soaks it up like a sponge, and your food's going to taste like
oh my God.
You're spending all this money to have a premium product that's like super high BTU, and then you're going to dump petroleum on it and basically ruin it. So yeah, don't ever use the lighter fluid. Anything else that you can come up to light it with works. I use a torch. Lawyers don't let me put that on the bag, but that's the best way to light it. Light fire with fire. Use a torch.
Joe just said he does too.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, when I used it, that was one thing I remembered from when you were on the show last, is you said not to use, and that you didn't have to use lighter fluid. So I used a torch, and yeah, it worked out great, and it burned longer than briquettes. Like, it made the food.
Definitely. If you use the torch, please have glasses on when you do that, because that's one thing. That's one of the reasons. Yeah.
Hey, everybody's trying. I mean, we have a lot of people. Okay, I need to go get some. Where again can people get your? Because you're everywhere. It seems like
it's everywhere. So in St. Louis, for those of you that are in St. Louis, it's 100+ locations around St. Louis. Any Deerbergs, Straub's, just about any meat market, wine and cheese store, Randall's, Kenrick's, you name it, we're there. And then also Ace Hardware's, a lot of the True Values around St. Louis, and then also across the country, just about any Ace Hardware across the country. And then we're also in some farm and home stores. It just depends on where you're from. You can get on the website, rockwoodcharcoal.com, click on the Buy Local tab, and that way you can just enter your zip code and it'll give you the nearest dealer to your location. Now, if we're too far away from you, or your Ace Hardware doesn't have it, they'll order it for you. But if you're still too far from an Ace, that's okay. You can get on our website and order it. Please buy it on our website versus Amazon. Not only are you going to get it cheaper on our website, but the money's not going to Amazon.
Are you in Sam's?
No.
Okay, somebody just asked about Sam's.
Sam's and Walmart. No, that is. I will not sell to those companies.
Good for you.
Yeah. No, it was, 3 years ago when every company was shut down and I'm having to hide my vehicle inside of my warehouse so I can still do business. And all of us in Eureka are shut down. The Walmart down the street's still open.
Exactly.
So no, I won't sell to those
That's
companies.
awesome. I appreciate you sharing that, because people can forget. I always say, remember the scorecard, remember the scoreboard, remember what happened, because people have a tendency to forget and what could happen again.
Yeah. And those companies, I mean, they're not going to sell my product's a premium product. They don't want mine. They don't want my stuff to begin with. But I mean, if they did, they're not going to want to pay enough that we're going to operate in a loss if we sell to one of those. But I
won't
says
even, principles.
Yeah,
Joe,
I won't sell to them. I won't sell
that.
Same deal. Now Target's off the list too. Not gonna sell that.
Yeah, no kidding.
Especially lately.
Yeah.
Hey, by the way, Target, I didn't know if they were going to take a hit. You're talking, they're moving in since April 30th at almost a $2 billion loss, from a financial loss of where their expectations would be because of what's happened with their new LGBTQ drag satanic clothing.
The satanic thing. Yeah, that is disgusting.
And their ugly prairie dresses.
Yeah.
They are ugly.
There are people buying those ugly prairie dresses.
I hope not. I
didn't buy one of their swimsuits for the lake this weekend.
No, thank God you didn't.
So no binding for you?
No.
I bet Eric did.
That's why he's sick, because he binded with the swimsuit and went to Target.
I'll get you some pictures.
Apparently they removed all those products.
Yes.
Yeah.
I saw that this morning.
Wait, Target did?
Target, yeah.
It wasn't just hiding them?
No, it says they removed all the Pride products.
Well, the ones that were relating to children, right?
The satanic, the ones that they found out. They said they didn't know that it was satanic at first, or he wasn't coming out as satanic at first, and then
he didn't. He came out as transgender. Target went to the Abprellin designer from the UK. So they wanted the transgender person designer to design their clothing line for their Gay Pride month of June. And then it started to branch off into other things, and they made commercials with a drag queen. And it is interesting, and you're on fire today, Jonathan, no pun intended, with bringing up that topic with Bud Light.
Yeah, well, Target. It goes back to Target. I mean, it was a couple of years ago with the bathroom situation.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yep.
And
I forgot about that.
Yeah, I mean, they did that with the bathroom situation to a point. I'm not worried about a person that might be transgender being in the bathroom so much. It's more over a child predator that's going to use that as an excuse to go in the bathroom with my kids and then say, "Oh, I'm this," and for them not to see that possibility. It's kind of like, growing up in the Catholic Church, you and I, and education and such, and Boy Scouts and such. It's not the Catholic Church or the Boy Scouts that turned these people into child predators. The child predators saw that as an opportunity.
That's right.
Yes.
They saw, I can get away with it there. Now, not defending the Catholic Church or the Boy Scouts for covering it up, but those folks did not get in there and get changed into that person through those organizations.
They seek out groups that have vulnerability.
So if Target is a place where a child predator can go and know that they've got an easy target. I'm going to keep my children away from that just as a protection standpoint.
Yeah, and we got a video that we're going to show.
And sorry to the folks that are hurt by that, but they're being used, and they should be just as ticked off as the rest of us.
I think a lot of them are. It
is interesting when you break it all down too, because you brought up the Target situation. Now Bud Light at about $27.5 billion loss worldwide. I repeat, Bud Light now working. They're setting new records for destruction of a product.
And the Bud Light thing is that's not even near what Target did here.
It's not even close.
It should have been yesterday's news, this whole Bud Light thing. I mean, that was a brand image. They screwed up. I mean, the people just didn't want to be associated with their image anymore.
Yeah, but don't you think that they made it worse by trying to cover it up?
Oh, yeah. I mean, they made it worse, but I mean, they could have been yesterday's. This Target thing, I would say, is 10 times worse than what Anheuser-Busch did.
By far.
By the way, Bud Light is now trying to give away free beer. So we heard on Monday they were going to distributors and offering to buy all of the beer that has not been purchased, that they had all of this excess. We'll take care of it for you, trying to get back in good graces. Now they're giving away free beer. They're begging customers to drink the beer. And in my humble opinion, another desperate move that's going to backfire. I don't know who's running the damn company, but they're making poor decision after poor decision. Hire us at Cancel This. We'll take the brand. We'll bring Jonathan into this. We will relaunch your program starting right here.
This never would have happened under the old guard there at Anheuser-Busch.
Well, it just goes, I mean, InBev came in. You have the SEG, the companies that start to focus in, the massive companies that start to focus on your SEG score. That's not going to happen at Rockwood. You're not going to be forced to do this or to do that, but it's a reality. Companies are having to deal with that sometimes, or face the consequences of a quote cancel mentality to you, your brand, and your customers.
Yeah.
And it goes to show it can happen. This is Cancel This, cancelthisshow.com. Lizzie Sparks is here. Eric's sick today. Tab of this here. I'm Vic. We've got Pro Joe here. And of course, we've got Jonathan Heslop in studio. He owns Rockwood Charcoal, getting everybody primed and fired up, so to speak, for the weekend ahead. Also talking some politics with some situations that are going on. You brought up the Target situation and how bad that is when you look at some of the things that are going on. We have a video. It's a piece of video. Project Veritas. Are you familiar with Project Veritas?
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
Do some great work. They always did. They're still doing great work. The company James O'Keefe founded. And when you talk about what's happening with kids and pedophilia, and it's out there, it's not just some dirty word. Oh, it's out there, the boogeyman. It's a real thing. I encourage anybody and everybody to look up this Project Veritas video. I don't know who put it on our line yesterday, whether it was Alex or Jill or you, Lizzie. But we were going to show like 3 minutes of it just to show what's going on. The dark web is a bad, bad place, and things are going on with kids, which is why you have to protect kids in every single way, which we were just talking about. But we wanted to show you about 3 minutes of this, maybe 3.5 minutes, and then watch the next 12 minutes or the total of 12 minutes when you get a chance, just to show you. We'll explain what happened, but no charges were followed up with this guy. They found out this guy is actually online looking for kids. Check this out.
Please be aware that the following video may contain disturbing content and language that may not be suitable for all audiences, including children. Project Veritas did not receive any images. Viewer discretion is advised.
From your account, it says, make a video, I a little girl in the school basement.
That was just a bluff. It was a lie.
And
I only did that to kind of lure her.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of just to tempt her into sending something.
So you traded CP?
No.
You never traded?
I just viewed them.
I never gave everyone all of the files that I had because I was scared of the legal repercussions. I did a bunch of podcasts in regards to the predator catching in real life, our 561 PC project. One of those podcasts went viral, then in turn had Project Veritas reach out, and that gave me the platform to be able to give these files to people that I trust, that I know are going to do them justice and and make something happen.
Lurking in the darkest corners of the dark web is a thriving community of child pornography, or CP. According to Wired magazine, as much as 80% of dark web visits relate to pedophilia. But what you may not know, much of this twisted world is in plain sight on the internet and easily accessible to adults and children alike. Ryan Montgomery, a cybersecurity professional, has exposed a vast ring of pedophiles who use the open internet to prey upon children. This is the first in a series of Project Veritas investigations.
So I got a text message from a friend's wife with some screenshots from this website. I found a way to exploit the site. I realized that there was a ton of these horrible people talking about horrible things. Some horrible things about 3 little girls, somebody who wants to be impregnated as a 16-year-old, and when they have a kid, they want to do horrible things to their children. I saw that there was pedophiles, self-proclaimed serial killers, rapists, every single type of horrible human being you can imagine, if you consider them human. I went through each post and I started to notice there was even children that were offering to sell their body to these older individuals. They're using some terminology here, a lot of things being brought up about pizza and cooking and this and that and CP. A lot of them are acronyms for child pornography. Cheese pizza would be CP. When they talk about another group, they're talking about another Telegram group. And to join that group, you have to send child pornography to another user, like one of the moderators, I believe it was, and then they would invite you. So it's kind of like proving you're not a police officer. My next steps with this data is to work with Project Veritas one by one, go through all of these email accounts, all these usernames, all these profile photos, and associate them with human beings.
Project Veritas sent an investigative team to track down people whose email addresses were found on these pedophile websites. The first man, Jonathan, we found living in New York in government-subsidized housing.
How's it going, Jonathan?
Yeah. So, is your email EL8 at Gmail? Okay. And you have another email called R1 at Gmail?
Yeah.
We found this website called rapey.tl. Are you familiar with this?
No.
You're not familiar with it? Because here, this is the email that we found. That's yours.
But what is that website about?
Well, basically, this is a place where people who have fetishes like rape and pedophilia. Yeah.
What exactly do you need? Now you guys are bothering my guys.
This email was used to register to this website, rapey.tl. It's a place where like pedophiles and like rapists like meet and like, you know, discuss like fetishes and also like arrange to like trade child porn, things like that.
Yeah. The building supervisor invites us into his office to talk about Jonathan regarding what we found. And it was clear that Jim was aware of Jonathan's serious porn addiction.
And we can cut out there. I mean, they go in and they talk, and this building manager knew about his porn addiction. They, quote, try to limit his internet access in that government subsidized housing.
That's so
okay.
crazy.
This is just one little example of what's happening. And
these are the nice examples, Vic. These aren't, this isn't the worst of it.
And it's not that we're trying to get into disgusting topics. We try to cover all kinds of topics here that are legit, real. And Project Veritas is doing some damn good behind the scenes work. And that's why I just wanted to promote them. And you watch the 12-minute video. You can't take anything for granted anywhere with your kids online, with your kids anywhere, because there are more and more predators everywhere that we go now.
Yeah.
With that being said, we go on and you see some of the things that are going on. The dark web, you stay away from the dark web. Make sure your kids, it can become so difficult when you're trying to watch and I know you have some younger ones and you don't have to get into their names or ages unless you wanted to, but my gosh, I've kind of gotten through that age of, kids are in high school where I'm not in that age group of where they might be more impressionable.
Yeah. I had an incident last summer with my youngest child at he goes to private school, but he was at a public school for a reading camp over the summer. And when that was over, he said something, "Oh, I'm so glad I don't have to go back there. I don't have to hug this teacher anymore." I said, "What?"
Oh.
And as he told me that, he started telling, and luckily I cut to the chase here. Nothing happened more than that. but that this teacher always male teacher wanted to give him a hug. And then for some reason, he would push his finger into this area between like his collarbone and neck until Cal would like make a noise. It just weird stuff. So I immediately called the principal there, and
that's how it
started. And we went in and had a meeting, and they discussed it with him. And they asked if this teacher had other children hug him, and the answer was yes. And they said, okay, we'll take it from here. And then I never heard a word more about it. And I contacted the school district. I wanted to know what the outcome was. And they said, well, he wasn't an employee of this school district. We brought him in from another school district. So we just won't have him back. I said, well, what about that other school district? What's he doing over there at his full-time job? Well, we can't get into that, and we can't discuss this because of personnel issues. I said, do I have to do like a Freedom of Information Act, or
you would have to. You'd have to go to the other school.
Yeah. I don't know where he works. They wouldn't disclose.
They wouldn't even disclose that.
I said, this guy, I don't know. I don't want to throw out accusations, but this is weird.
It means something. I write a crime blog, and I can assure you.
Can you tell us how old
something.
your child was at the time, or is that fine?
He was 8. Well, he's 7. Yeah, he was 7, 8, 7.5.
Thank God he came to you and said something about it. A lot of kids don't say anything, and then something happened.
And at the last point, I asked him. I said, did you tell him that you didn't like that? Or he goes, yeah, I ran away from him the last time. And so, I mean, there was and that was my point, was how do you know that while my child didn't experience anything more than 1 or 2 hugs, how do you know that another child in this school didn't, if you're not going to investigate this? And they swept it all under the rug.
And these days we have to tell our children, it's okay not to kiss Aunt Susie or Uncle Brian. Like when I was younger, people be like, you have to go hug him. You're being rude. Your child can sense when they're very young who's not good for them.
Sure.
You have to allow them not to hug whoever that is.
Yeah. And I mean, my 4 boys, they're all over each other. So they're used to, they're very touchy-feely kind of kids. And for him to say that he wasn't comfortable, that was hard for him. That was
as hard as that is. The problem that you also have is you don't feel as if this person has been investigated, has been chastised.
Yeah, that this person is still around children, and it may be just everything's fine. He's just a nice guy.
That's not fine. That's typically, you know what that means? That's the little sign that pokes out, the little red flag that this guy has some kind of weird fetish that involves children. And he wants,
well, that's what I feel. Yeah.
And he wants to do that because he's trying to hurt your child.
Well, and it's not somebody that was the nice old 65-year-old man.
This is not a nice, friendly hug.
This was a 30-year-old guy.
That's a sexual hug.
Yeah, with control.
And I'm getting fired up now.
I bet you are.
And to think this person is out there somewhere. At some point, sometime after the show, if you give us his name, I will find this guy.
Okay. That's the problem. They would not share his name.
Oh, you don't even know his name?
No. I mean, we know his last name, but we know nothing more about him. But then that happened. And then I'm in an organization, a group of businesses, and there was a gentleman in that guy that I knew. I knew him, and we kind of had a falling out, and this guy kind of disappeared off the face of the earth. We don't know didn't know why he quit and where he went. Come to find out, we see a news report. He got busted for soliciting an 11-year-old out of Tennessee, and he's now in federal prison for the next 20 years south of Youngstown, Ohio. And this guy was in my house. He'd used my internet. He'd been on other people's. He was around family activities, and that really scared the hell out of me too, because I mean, I was around this guy, and like I said, things didn't add up, but that would have been the last thing, not the last thing, but that would have been something I would not have expected.
That happened to us at our house too. We had a house cleaner come once, and she just was there once. And my kids told me they didn't like her. There was something odd about him. She kept looking at him weird. Apparently nothing happened with him. And then I see on the evening news about a week later, she was up for child abuse, abusing her son's best friend sexually.
Yeah, this guy, he had a daughter that had some issues. I don't want to get too much privacy into his family, but she was always scared of everything, and she didn't want to social. Well, and we know now her dad was creeping on her. Her dad used her picture to solicit.
Yeah, things can happen.
He was pretending to be an 11-year-old girl.
That's unbelievable. And it happens so often. people think these are isolated cases, but it happens so often.
Yeah. And I just shocking and just I still feel sick knowing this stuff. So,
well, see, and this is the issue that gets into, and we're not, I mean, we want to connect A to B and B to C as being as direct and good as we possibly can. But that's where the whole issue of grooming, pedophilia, a little bit of poison mixed in with all that sugar, and you don't taste the poison. Oh, it's not that bad. It's, we can do the conditioning of where we are today, where we may be 6 months from now, where we are a year from now. And it really hits home with the kids, because the kids appear as the innocent bystanders that are listening. They're soaking up information. It's already difficult enough as a parent. And then when you have these exposés that are being done and the internet being used how it is, then you have the marketing of all of the situations with certain companies that are going on, from Dylan Mulvaney with Bud Light, even though people talk about, well, it was just one can. And then, of course, it gets into the gender reassignment surgery. And indirectly, you are supporting that as Bud Light because Dylan Mulvaney does. And then you move into the Target situation.
And it was during Women's Month. Let's not forget that point. It happened during Women's Month.
And if people don't think all of this can lead into each other and eventually connect, you're mistaking yourself, because it does. And it starts to get that mind thinking. It starts to, if somebody's already dealing with issues, it promotes them, and it confuses the hell out of kids. You better believe that. Even as parents teaching kids, they get confused as if they didn't have enough to deal with already.
Agreed.
Which is why the Project Veritas video, that 12-minute video, it's right underneath your own eyes. It's in your backyard. It's in your schools, whether you're listening or watching in St. Louis, Chicago, Denver, wherever you may be listening, Texas, it's there. And anything that you can do to continue to talk to your kids when they're online, anything you continue to do to talk about kids where any interesting or weird or unnatural events are occurring, to let you know, to tell those damn parents. And that's what Project Veritas is trying to get done here too.
Let's not forget, Vic, a lot of these kids, and why this is so important that you brought this up, is some of the cases that I've written about, on my crime blog, result in children disappearing, teenagers disappearing. And they later investigate and they find out there are all these connections to the dark web, where there are people who meet on these dark web groups, and they go out and they pretend to be other kids, and they get in touch with these teenagers. And the next thing you know, these teens are, and it's not sex trafficking, they are literally serial killers, or there are more serial killers out there than people realize. And it does have consequences, what's happening here.
And it's not a fun topic to talk about, but we wanted to hit it and promote Project Veritas at the same time. This is cancelthisshow.com. I'm Vic Faust with Tabitha Hassel, Lizzie Sparks. Eric's sick, unfortunately. He's out. He's got to get ready for his weekend. Maybe we'll have him back tomorrow. He'll be at the lake with our guest today, Jonathan Heslop, the founder of Rockwood Charcoal, 100% Missouri. Missouri made. We love it. We promote it, but you can get his product all across the country. Real charcoal should break in your hand. It burns very simply. Do not use lighter fluid. I can't tell you how many times you use lighter fluid in my life. What a dumbass I was. I just was uneducated. I had no idea what was going on. Something else that's massive, because we had to give Tab her time for her Tab take when it comes to AI, the artificial intelligence of what is going on with this whole Russia-Ukraine war, and how AI, because we love AI and we talk AI, and we're going to continue to talk AI, trying to stay ahead of the game, is now affecting this war with Russia and Ukraine. Tabitha.
As we know, when the Russian invasion began in Ukraine, what was it? It was a war of propaganda, wasn't it? We saw Ukraine using video clips of games, acting like these were real battles. So this war always started out keeping us guessing, is it real? Is it not real? Is it problem? It's gotten so bad that the people in Russia don't even understand if what's going on is real or is not real. And just recently, just a couple days ago, it's alleged that a group of Russian troops turned against Russia. They started fighting with Ukraine. And as part of the counteroffensive from Ukraine, they actually crossed the border into Belgorod, Russia, and they were fighting Russian troops, Russian soldiers, Russian citizens in Belgorod. And these alleged Russian troops, soldiers, were claiming that they are starting a civil war within Russia. And there was alerts that went out to the people of Belgorod to tell them to evacuate the city because war has broken out in Belgorod, allegedly from Russian troops that turned against Russia and are now fighting for Zelensky. But here's where things get crazy, is a spokesperson for the Russian troops that have formed this offensive against their own country, against Russia. They gave a speech. And in this speech, they talked about how Putin is repressive and how the government of Russia is repressive and all of the freedoms that they've lost and the fact that they're being forced against their will to fight in Ukraine. But here's what's so crazy about it. No one believes it's real. Is it real? Is it not? The people in Russia, a lot of the people in Ukraine say, you know what? It looks a lot like AI to me. Even the people the Russians who are on the side of Ukraine are speaking out, and they're saying, while we know there was an alert in Belgorod for people to evacuate, we don't believe this is actually happening. We think it's more Ukraine propaganda. So how do we move forward in a society of AI when we don't even know what's real and what's not real?
Oh my God.
Isn't that the crazy? And I hope I explained that okay. It's the craziest situation to think now that you could, let's say,
Russia started turning on Russia because of messages.
And Russia, no, because they are tired of losing their lives allegedly for this battle of Putin's. So that's allegedly why they rose up and came against Russia. They're fighting back against their own country, trying to create a civil war. But nobody believes it's real. They think it's all AI. And is it real or is it not? How do you know?
Yeah, how do you know?
Unless you see it with your own eyes and you're there, how do you know? Is it just more propaganda from Ukraine? Or did Russian troops truly turn against Putin and now they're in Russia fighting back? How does anyone know? And how do you
know?
But the bigger picture is moving forward when we come to different war situations, how do we know to believe our eyes? What do we know is real?
You don't. I don't even know where to go with the Tabitha because AI is not going anywhere. We've already talked about that. AI is only advancing in a super hyper speed way in every area of our life. Have you seen it affect you in any of your businesses or your dealings?
Not yet, but I was at MIT in Boston last week at a entrepreneurs conference, and we probably 3 of the 5 days we talked about AI, and it is scary. There's a lot of people there knew 1,000 times more than I know about it, but they said, in the short term, the biggest thing you're going to see here pretty soon is a lot more robocalls and spam in your email boxes. AI learns how to beat all those filters. But as a business aspect, it's going to be writing articles. It's going to be writing news. It's going to change everything when it comes to, it could put Google out of business as far as AdWords go. I mean, it is.
And it's happening fast.
Bill Gates says it's going to happen.
Fast.
Exactly. It's going to happen so fast that there isn't a book or a blog that's going to catch up with it. And the big push right now is to create content on your website that the AI will find. Because right now it has to be done by Google, basically finding that and upping the ranking based off of how many clicks on it. AI is going to circumvent that. And whoever can figure out how to do that the best is going to be the one that owns the internet on the information that is conveyed to you.
And that's going to take over jobs. But how does it affect us globally? What if all of a sudden we're told, instead of them actually having to do an actual false flag type event, they could just create it over AI? Who's to say that they couldn't say, well, there was a terror attack in New York City.
But did it really
happen or did it not?
Didn't this happen the other day at the Pentagon? That the AI posted a picture of the Pentagon
yes.
And the S&P fell.
Oh, I didn't see this.
Yes.
Oh my God.
I want to say this was Monday or Tuesday that this happened. Yes.
And that's that's kind of a terror type attack because, you're manipulating the market with AI. I mean, how is it to think of all the nefarious ways it's going to affect our lives?
It's already happening, but it's the person that's behind it. Right now, soon enough, you're going to have a computer behind it that moves so much faster than the person does.
And what about when ISIS gets AI?
Exactly.
Because we know we've given them millions of dollars, maybe billions of dollars.
When they figure
they
out
can certainly afford it.
And right now it's all free. It's all open to whoever wants to use it.
I'm blown away by the picture of the Pentagon. That's scary. because that can affect markets.
And it's the tip of the iceberg.
If you're using AI, you can use it to your advantage. It can help you. It can. But for how long? When it comes to the marketing, when it comes to advertising, there are so many programs, as I've been looking at, that it can help you.
Yeah, it's for my purposes, I can write an article and then I can tell AI to take it and summarize it and then make it into, I don't know how many characters a tweet is, but there's services now that use AI that it'll condense it into a tweet. And then, so it does it for you. It simplifies something that I don't have to pay a copyright to do for me. So that's kind of neat, but I don't know. I think I would be using 1/1,000,000th of 1% of what it's capable of at that point, and what it's capable of is pretty scary.
And it's just small potatoes right now. You know, Lion's Choice over on Highway K. Do you know that they work on a completely AI type system? When you place your order, it's not a real person; it's an AI. And not only that, but it knows what you're talking about. If you ask this or that, you know, it tells you your order back. It's not a computer system. This is actually AI. It has the ability to respond to you if you don't want pickles or something.
And I mean, it's been in use for so long now. One thing that you see, and this is another evil of Amazon, if you get on and you search for what's the best digital camera, what's the best laptop, what's the best light bulb, whatever, you're going to immediately get a Google response that has probably, 20 different websites, the best 15 cameras of 2023. If you get into those if you read through that, basically what this engine does is it goes to Amazon with this, it's ASIN, Amazon, I can't remember what it stands for, but the number that Amazon assigns to it, and it scours the reviews at the bottom. It'll take the 10 or 15 best that are on there that people are most likely to buy. Then it'll go through all the reviews and it'll condense all that information and make a big review for them. People like this. We like this camera because it has this kind of buttons and it's good to zoom, all this other stuff. They didn't test the camera. All they did was just steal from other reviews. And then it puts a link on there that if you click on that link to go to Amazon to buy that camera, they get a referral fee. And every one of those, if you scroll up and down, you will find on that list, we may receive a compensation if you click the links. Okay. So all of those reports, all of those ratings on there, they're all fake. Nobody did that. Maybe there's somebody that actually did it. I don't know. But most of them, if you read the reviews, it's almost a cut and paste of certain sentences. I know this because it does it with my charcoal. If you click in the best charcoals or whatever, you'll have 10 different Googles right there on your Google feed of all this stuff, and it's written from the reviews, and most of it's BS. And not only that, one of these systems at one point somehow got my charcoal confused with luggage. And this report was written.
We go.
How my charcoal was the zippers on my charcoal were great. The wheels were good. It was.
How long ago was that?
This was about 3 years ago, and I wish I would have screenshotted it because it was only out there for like a day. I've got a thing that sends me everything that like in the last 5 days that's been posted.
Yeah,
using the words Rockwood Charcoal in Google. So it popped up there. I didn't save it. I should have. But yeah, this engine got it confused, charcoals and luggage somehow.
Nothing's real, is it?
It's not. It's all fake.
Nothing is real anymore.
It is interesting.
And it washes out all the people that are out there generating good content. So that was the whole thing, the discussion we had, that everybody needs to get off their butt and generate good content. Because in the end, people can tell the difference between someone, if a machine wrote it or if someone else wrote it.
I can't tell the difference yet. I'm trying to look at it.
It just doesn't sound right, especially if you know that person, or perhaps if you have somebody that's English is not their first language, that you can kind of tell when they type an email. I've got the people that manage my Amazon stuff for me. They're in the Philippines, and when I get emails from them, it's good English. It's just it reads a little different.
Okay, that would make sense.
So it's kind of like that, reading an email from somebody that English may not be their first language.
Well, how about this from some polling from Business Insider that just came out today? About 79% of U.S. workers are worried that adopting any kind of AI is going to result in pay cuts.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm like, okay, I can see that. Yet 86% of workers are still willing to utilize AI if it will help them and make them work less.
If you sit at a desk, you should be worried. I mean, that's what it comes down to. If you use a computer, sit at a desk or use a computer. If you're not involved in any kind
using a computer is where I was really.
Yeah.
But workers are also concerned, as you're saying, that AI-driven layoffs are going to happen in the next 6 months to 2 years.
Yeah.
Because of AI, as you were just talking about.
I mean, customer service is going to be gone. Already, banks have adopted this thing of getting away from touching money. I just changed banks because my little bank or branch I was using in Eureka got rid of tellers. They show you, they take you to the ATM now.
If you need cash, yeah.
If you need cash or you need to deposit checks. No, you can't. There isn't a drive-through anymore. So it's a virtual branch.
Things are changing.
You have they had a virtual branch bank?
Yeah.
With no employees.
Well, there are employees in there, but they're only going to help you if you want to get a loan or something like that. It's an open account, close an account to where they actually have to put a signature on paper. Anything else, anything monetary, anything I use a bank for, no, you can't do that anymore unless you're going to use the ATM.
So is that your new bank or
no? That was my old bank. Yeah,
okay.
I told them, I said, well, because they said we're going to convert you all to this online stuff, and they did. And then they charged me over $100 a month. So I was like, you're getting rid of employees and then charging me on top of that. I'm out. So I switched banks to a business bank here in St. Louis that I'm a shareholder in. So it's lot better relationship.
Amy says Regions does virtual now as well, guys. Aaron says there's a fully automated McDonald's as well now, going to Tabitha's AI comment about a Lion's Choice restaurant in the St. Louis area as well.
Yeah, for whatever reason, Lion's Choice, they are right on the technology and the AI.
Yeah.
Do you know, I just saw this yesterday, and this was the CEO for OpenAI. He said that AI could be smarter than our most intelligent experts within 10 years, that it will literally be able to gain that much knowledge in 10 years, that it will know more than the expert in any field. Could you imagine?
Is that because because we all know that AI is started by us as humans. We start it, we create it, we give it information. Does it start to develop its own knowledge, its own brain?
That's the thought that it can. Again, I don't understand it too well. What's going to be interesting to watch is my kids are all into chess. So, if you think back into the 80s, what it was, IBM's Big Blue that beat...
That's what it was, Big Blue.
Yeah, the Russian fella that actually beat that. Now, is anybody ever going to be able to beat an AI system playing chess?
No.
I doubt it.
Or anything else. Or anything. They're calling it super intelligence is how they're referring to AI. Super intelligence.
My gosh, it is scary, scary, scary. Hey, before we get out of here today, I just wanted to give you a chance to remind people how they can get your charcoal product, your Rockwood.
Oh yeah, good. Just get on the website, rockwoodcharcoal.com. Just look at the locate tab on the top or the bottom, and it'll get you the nearest dealer in St. Louis. If you're not in St. Louis, hopefully we've got an Ace Hardware around there, or another farm and home store, or another dealer somewhere in your area. And if all else fails, we'll ship it to you. Hang out until about, if you want to, we'll probably have some sort of sale on the website over this weekend. I don't run that stuff, but there'll probably be a 10% off sale or something for Memorial Day weekend.
I will be using it.
That'll rock.
I'm getting my big smoker going this weekend.
Okay.
I've already bought all the ribs and all of the other stuff. And what I love about it is you gave me a great big, a 20-pound bag.
Yeah.
And I've barely even made a dent in it because it burns hotter and it lasts
you're not
longer.
Cooking enough.
Yeah.
I mean, it's crazy.
I got 360 bags out in the box truck right now. How many you need? How many pallets?
All of them.
All right.
Just bring the big truck to my house.
I think almost everybody here is going to be using it this weekend.
Excellent.
For sure.
Excellent.
I think so. Because
that's good.
I love it.
My oldest son just got accepted to SLU High School. So
congratulations.
I need it. Yeah. He just graduated from grade school and is going to SLU, and we're all pretty excited about it.
Yeah, you should be. That's a big deal. Jonathan Heslop, the owner and friend of ours, and fill-in host now at cancelthisshow.com. We appreciate you jumping in. Anything else you want to let people know before we get out of here?
No, have a great weekend. It's going to be a terrific weekend. If you're down at the Lake of the Ozarks, make sure you come to Shady's and see Platinum Rock Legends on stage all 4 nights at 9:00.
Is that Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday?
Sunday, Monday, yep.
Okay, so you guys are playing Monday night too?
Yeah, I probably can't stick around for Monday night, but I'll be there Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
So exciting.
There you go. Well, we appreciate you guys. And thanks again to Mike England from St. Mary Southside Catholic High School. and the amazing program that he has going on. What was the website again, Lizzie? If you can find it, I'd be grateful. You can go and donate. You can help out. Projo, if you have that up again, we just wanted to give them all the words.
There it is.
That you can possibly do.
theworkisours.com.
I'll get in contact with him, see if they're doing any charity barbecues or anything down
Mike,
there.
Mike,
such a good idea.
Yeah, Mike is amazing. Just tell him you saw him here today on the show in regards to trying to help kids when it comes to the trade. And if you guys know anybody across the country that you think should be implementing a program like that in their high schools, give Mike a call.
Oh my God, yeah.
Just that they can also help the communities around them. Those are the results-driven type of stories that Tabitha was talking about as well. All right, don't miss tomorrow. Tomorrow we will be talking about the, quote, Missouri miracle, where an uncorrupted body was just uncovered. They were trying to move a sister from Benedictine College in Missouri, right on the Missouri-Kansas border. When they dug up her grave to put her into a different spot, her body was found uncorrupted. It's amazing. We've got pictures. It's people from all over the world are now coming into that area. We'll have that story. And we're also on the other side tomorrow going to have the uncensored medium. So we will have Brittany in, and I'm trying to remember Brittany's last name right now. Is Jill here? What's Brittany's last name?
Buckwalter.
Brittany Buckwalter, the uncensored medium. She will be in tomorrow as well. So it will be a very entertaining free-for-all paranormal conspiracy theory Friday. Since Lizzie's really chomping at the bit, so to speak, to have one of the gummies, maybe we'll do our gummy test on Lizzie tomorrow morning. We'll give her a sativa that gives her energy before
you guys
she starts.
really want to be around me after I have a sativa?
With that being said, we love you guys for joining us. Thanks for liking, subscribing, sharing the show. CancelTheShow.com. Monday through Friday, 8 to 10 a.m. And, of course, all the time on our website. Check out our partners, just like Jonathan as well. And if you're buying their products, go buy them. Let them know you heard about it from CancelTheShow.com. Have an awesome day. That does it for this May 25th podcast. For Projo, Jonathan Heslop, Lizzie Sparks, and Tabitha Hassel, I'm Vic Faust. Hopefully Eric Johnson will be back healthy tomorrow. Have a great day.